When the grid goes down and supply chains collapse, your money becomes worthless. But these 15 everyday items, they'll be worth more than gold. Number 7 will shock you. It's something you probably throw away right now. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the exact items and skills that separate survivors from victims when disaster strikes. We're not talking about expensive tactical gear or luxury bunkers. These are simple, affordable things you can start building today before it's too late. Welcome to Food Decider, where we help you prepare for anything life throws your way. If you're serious about protecting yourself and your family, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss critical survival information. Let's start with the most critical resource of all, water purification. Now, here's what most people get wrong. Access to water isn't actually the problem in most emergencies. You can find water in lakes, streams, rain barrels, even toilet tanks. The real issue is making that water safe to drink. Municipal systems will fail. Bottled water deliveries will stop. And here's the terrifying part. You've got about 3 days without clean water before things become catastrophic. So what makes water purification absolutely priceless? It's the ability to turn a muddy creek into safe drinking water. A good gravity filter or pump filter that removes bacteria and protozoa is your first line of defense. Stock up on purification tablets as backups. They're cheap now, but irreplaceable later. Even household bleach works in a pinch. 8 drops per gallon of clear water, let it stand for 30 minutes, and you've got emergency disinfection. Learn to make a solar still or filter rainwater using basic materials. That $20 water filter you can buy today, in a real crisis, someone would trade you their weight in gold for it, because clean water isn't just valuable, it's survival itself. Next, let's talk about fire. Fire isn't just about staying warm. It purifies your water, cooks your food, provides light when darkness falls, and honestly, it gives you hope when everything else seems hopeless. But modern convenience has made us forget how hard fire can actually be. Your lighter runs out of fluid, your matches get wet. Then what? This is where redundancy becomes non-negotiable. Buy several lighters and store them in different locations. Get waterproof matches as backup. Ferro rods with strikers work under harsh conditions, but here's the catch. They require skill and dry tinder. Speaking of tinder, stock cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly, commercial fire starters, or even dryer lint in waterproof containers. Never rely on a single method. In a world where everything has failed, a functional lighter or a handful of dry tinder could literally be worth its weight in food. The person who can reliably start fire becomes essential to any group's survival. Now, medical supplies and knowledge. The supplies part is obvious. Bandages, antiseptic, pain relievers, antibiotic ointment, tweezers, medical tape. You can get all of this inexpensively right now at any pharmacy. But when those pharmacies are empty and locked up, these basics become irreplaceable. But here's what separates someone with a first aid kit from someone who can actually save lives: knowledge. Do you know how to properly clean and dress a wound to prevent infection? Can you recognize the early signs of sepsis? Do you know when stitches are necessary versus when they'll do more harm than good? Can you treat severe dehydration, recognize shock, or properly splint a broken bone? A first aid kit is just a box of supplies without the knowledge to use it effectively. Take a certified first aid course now, while it's accessible and affordable. In a prolonged crisis, your medical skills may become the most valued trade good in your entire community. People will remember who saved their child's life or who knew how to treat their infected wound. Let's address something delicate but absolutely critical: prescription medications. If you or anyone in your family needs daily medication, insulin for diabetes, blood pressure medication, thyroid hormones, psychiatric medications, you're incredibly vulnerable to supply chain disruptions. Most of us keep maybe a 2-week to 1-month supply at home at any given time. Here's what you need to do. Have an honest conversation with your healthcare provider about your preparedness concerns. Ask about 90-day prescriptions instead of 30 days. Discuss staggered refills so you're always ahead. Research manufacturer assistance programs that might help you build a backup supply. The goal isn't hoarding, it's ensuring continuity when systems fail. A 3-month supply of essential medication could be the difference between life and death in a true crisis. This isn't fear-mongering, this is reality. Here's something even experienced preppers overlook: non-cook foods. Sure, you've got 50 pounds of rice and 20 pounds of dried beans. That's great. But let me ask you this. What happens if you can't cook? What if your fuel runs out? What if it's too dangerous to build a fire because you don't want to attract attention? What if you're forced to evacuate and you're on the move? This is where non-cook foods become priceless. Peanut butter is king, calorie-dense, protein-rich, and edible straight from the jar. Canned meats or fish with pull tabs require no
Trail mix, honey, and energy bars pack serious nutrition in small packages. Dried fruit and even hard candies provide quick energy when you need it most. These aren't gourmet meals, but they provide vital calories and nutrients when cooking simply isn't an option. Don't make the mistake of assuming you'll always be able to cook your food. Let's talk about something we completely take for granted: light. Humans genuinely struggle without light. Simple tasks become dangerous, moving around becomes hazardous, and the psychological toll of long, dark nights is real and measurable. When the grid goes down, even the simplest forms of lighting become immediately cherished. LED flashlights are your best friend, power efficient and long-lasting. But flashlights are useless without batteries, so stock both disposable and rechargeable batteries, plus a solar charger for the rechargeables. Candles are cheap and provide hours of ambient light. Oil lamps fueled by kerosene or lamp oil can be safely stored for years. Don't forget headlamps for hands-free task lighting. Build redundancy into your lighting plan. When the sun sets in a world without electricity, that single working flashlight becomes worth more than you can imagine. Darkness isn't just inconvenient, it's genuinely dangerous to both physical safety and mental health. Now here's the one that most people completely ignore until it's too late: sanitation and hygiene. When water systems fail, when sewage stops being processed, when garbage isn't collected, disease spreads like wildfire. Throughout history, cholera and other sanitation-related diseases have killed far more people during crises than violence ever has. Soap is your most important investment. Don't compromise on this. Toilet paper is nice to have, but alternatives exist if necessary. Stock up on heavy-duty garbage bags for waste disposal. Bleach disinfects surfaces and can purify water in emergencies. Don't forget menstrual products for those who need them. Get buckets with tight-fitting lids to create makeshift toilets, along with sawdust or cat litter to manage odor and absorb moisture. This isn't glamorous, but planning for waste management and hygiene is absolutely essential for keeping your family and community healthy during extended crises. Disease prevention is survival. Here's number 7, and this one might surprise you: salt. Plain, ordinary salt. Human biology literally depends on salt for core functions: nerve transmission, muscle contraction, fluid balance. There's a reason Roman soldiers were paid in salt. That's where the word salary comes from. Beyond keeping you alive, salt preserves food. When refrigeration is gone and you need to make meat or vegetables last, salt becomes strategic infrastructure. Stock both iodized table salt for daily use and health and kosher or canning salt for food preservation. The best part? Salt has an unlimited shelf life if kept dry, and it's incredibly cheap right now. Salt is one of those things you'll kick yourself for not stockpiling. It's so basic we forget how essential it truly is. Let's talk about alcohol, and I'm not just talking about having something to take the edge off, though that has value too. Alcohol's worth in a crisis goes way beyond consumption. High-proof spirits sterilize wounds and disinfect surfaces when medical supplies run low. Alcohol is highly desirable for bartering in high-stress times. It works as a solvent and fire starter for various technical needs. Stock both drinking spirits for morale and trade and cheap, high-proof vodka for utility purposes. Both will hold tremendous trade value and practical applications. Alcohol doesn't go bad, stores indefinitely, and its value only increases when systems fail. Here's the truth that survival fantasy fiction gets completely wrong: the lone wolf dies. Community is the resource you cannot buy, and it's more valuable than every physical item on this list combined. Throughout all of human history, we survive by cooperating and sharing burdens. Going it alone is a death sentence. What does community provide? Security through numbers, diverse skills you don't personally have, shared labor for tasks too big for one person, shared defense against threats, emotional support when fear and uncertainty become overwhelming. You cannot build community during a crisis. You build it now. Be a good neighbor today. Get to know the people around you. Offer help without expecting immediate return. Build trust gradually and genuinely. When things fall apart, your strongest assets won't be your stockpiles. They'll be the relationships you've invested in. Now, this might sound soft, but it's absolutely critical. Entertainment and comfort items. It's easy to focus only on physical survival. Food, water, shelter, security. But psychological health is just as vital, especially during prolonged periods of uncertainty and fear. Boredom and despair can cripple morale and destroy the will to keep going. Books provide escape and education. Playing cards and board games bring people together. Art supplies let people process emotions creatively. Musical instruments provide joy and normalcy. For children especially, toys and games offer stability when their world has been turned upside down. These items are small, lightweight, and easy to store now. They provide a sense of normalcy and moments of happiness that can make all the difference between giving up and pushing.
Never underestimate the survival value of hope and distraction. Communication ability becomes priceless when the internet goes silent. Information is survival. In crises, rumors spread like wildfire, and knowing what's actually happening locally and beyond becomes critical for making smart decisions. At minimum, get an emergency radio, battery-powered or hand-crank models that receive AM, FM, and NOAA weather stations. This alone puts you ahead of most people. For serious preparedness, consider ham radio. With a basic license, you join networks of people communicating when all other systems have failed. Getting licensed is more accessible than you think, and the skills are invaluable. Even a simple receiver that you test regularly gives you a massive advantage. When everyone else is panicking from lack of information, you'll know what's actually happening. Finally, let's talk about barter goods. When monetary systems fail, and they can, people still need to trade. Items with universal value in small, divisible quantities become the new medium of exchange. What holds value historically? Alcohol, coffee, and tobacco top the list, all highly desirable and non-perishable. Ammunition for common calibers if you're in that community. Lighters and matches are small but essential. Honey never spoils and provides both nutrition and trade value. Reading glasses in various strengths help people who've lost or broken theirs. Even hard candies provide comfort and quick energy. The key is building small, strategic stashes of high-demand items. This puts you in position to acquire things you need without depleting your core survival supplies. You're not trying to become a crisis profiteer. You're ensuring you can participate in the economy that will naturally emerge. Looking across all 15 of these categories, you'll notice clear patterns. The critical supplies, water purification, fire starting tools, medical supplies, food, light, salt, hygiene items, they're all cheap and accessible right now. In crisis, they become priceless. But supplies alone aren't enough. The skills and relationships matter even more. The ability to purify water, grow food, repair essential gear, provide medical care, and especially to build trusted community relationships, these are what tip the balance from bare survival to actual resilience. Here's what I want you to understand. Preparedness isn't about panic or fear. It's about caring for yourself and the people you love in a grounded, confident way. You don't have to do everything at once. Start small, build consistently. The quiet, boring things you do today could one day prove truly invaluable. It's not what you can buy that matters most. It's what you know, who you trust, and how you care for those around you. So here's your action plan. Start today. Get a water filter. Learn to start a fire without matches. Take a first aid course. Introduce yourself to a neighbor you don't know yet. These aren't just preparations for emergencies. They're building blocks for a more confident, capable, resilient version of yourself. If this video opened your eyes to what real preparedness looks like, smash that like button and subscribe to Food Decider. Drop a comment and tell us which of these 15 items surprised you most or what you're going to start with first. Your preparation journey starts right now, and we're here to guide you every step of